You text her immediately after your date ends. You buy expensive gifts on the second meeting. You rearrange your entire schedule to accommodate hers. You think you're showing love, but something strange happens. The more effort you put in, the more distant they become. This isn't a cruel twist of fate. There's actual psychology behind why trying harder often pushes people away in romantic relationships. Robert Cialdini writes about scarcity in Influence. When something becomes too available, we value it less. When someone is always available, always agreeing, always accommodating, they lose their appeal. You become predictable. Predictable feels safe, but safe rarely feels exciting. You might think this sounds manipulative or wrong. You want to be genuine, to show your feelings openly. But there's a difference between being authentic and being desperate for approval. When you constantly try to impress someone, you're not showing them who you are. You're showing them who you think they want you to be. Think about your favorite people in your life. The ones you respect most. Do they bend over backward for your approval? Do they drop everything when you call? Probably not. They have their own lives, their own opinions, their own boundaries. That independence makes them interesting. That's what draws you to them. Alfred Adler talked about the inferiority complex. When you feel inferior, you overcompensate. You try too hard to prove your worth. But this behavior actually confirms the very inferiority you're trying to hide. People sense it unconsciously. They feel your neediness even when you think you're being generous or caring. The person who texts back immediately every time seems to have nothing else going on. The person who agrees with everything you say seems to have no personality of their own. The person who never says no seems to have no standards or self-respect. You've probably experienced this yourself from the other side. Someone showed too much interest too quickly, and you felt suffocated. Their eagerness made you uncomfortable. You started making excuses not to see them. Their very enthusiasm became a turnoff. This doesn't mean you should play games or be deliberately unavailable. That's just another form of trying to impress, except through manufactured scarcity. The real answer lies deeper. When you're constantly trying to impress someone, you're operating from a place of fear. Fear that you're not enough as you are. Fear that if you don't perform perfectly, they'll leave. Fear that your authentic self isn't worthy of love. But this fear creates exactly what you're trying to avoid. Your desperation pushes people away. Your need for validation makes you less attractive. Your fear of rejection guarantees rejection. Ryan Holiday writes about this in The Obstacle is the Way. The thing you resist persists. The more you chase approval, the more it runs from you. The more you try to control someone else's feelings, the less control you actually have. Real attraction comes from self-possession, from knowing your own worth without needing constant confirmation, from having your own life, your own interests, your own values that don't change based on who you're trying to impress. When you stop trying so hard to be impressive, you become more impressive. When you stop being available for everything, your availability becomes valuable. When you stop agreeing with everything, your opinions start to matter. This isn't about playing hard to get. This is about actually being hard to get because you have standards, because you value your time, because you know what you want and won't settle for less. Mark Manson explains this in The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. When you care too much about what everyone thinks, you end up caring about nothing that really matters. When you're desperate for anyone's approval, you lose the approval of people worth having. The person who respects you is someone who sees you set boundaries and stick to them. Someone who watches you prioritize your own goals and values. Someone who notices that you choose to be with them rather than needing to be with them. Choice creates value. Need destroys it. When you need someone's approval to feel good about yourself, you give them all the power. They become the judge of your worth. That's an exhausting position for both of you. Nobody wants to carry that responsibility for another person's self-esteem. But when you approve of yourself first, when you know your own value independent of their opinion, you become someone worth respecting. You become someone whose attention actually means something because it's not given away freely to everyone. Stop trying to earn respect through impressive gestures. Start earning it through self-respect. Stop trying to win love through perfect performance. Start attracting it through authentic confidence. The right person will appreciate your effort when it comes from abundance, not desperation. When it's a choice, not a compulsion. When it's an expression of your feelings, not a bid for their approval. You are enough as you are. Once you believe that, others will too.